スタジオ3万
Hey folks, and welcome to another episode of Chester Pridecast, all things pride and beyond. Today's episode will dive into navigating the big scary world of dating, the pros and cons of dating apps, and discuss your questions and stories you've been sending in.
Before we begin, we'd just like to say that the following content may contain strong language and adult material that may not be suitable for all audiences, so your discretion is advised. Any views or advice expressed on this podcast are the views of Chester Pridecast and do not necessarily represent the views and opinions of Chester Pride.
Here we are again, I'm your host Wes.
I'm Carla.
I'm back with no demand at all, I'm TJ.
Hey sluts, I'm Diana.
And unfortunately we are minus Jason this week. He is sunning it up on holiday while we're recording. Absolutely shameful. But I would just like to take the minute just to thank everyone who's listened to the first episode. It's been so well received. We've had such... I mean, we are blowing our trumpet a little bit, but...
International.
Well,
Literally?
exactly.
What was it, Berlin?
We've had... No, it was Belgium and
Can
the
I just
US,
say a special hello to our friends in Belgium and the US?
Well, yeah. But instead of Jason here, we have our sixth member. So you may have seen on the socials, there are 6 of us, but there was only 5 of us last week. So in the grand tradition of Blind Date, let me introduce Mystery Man number 6. What's your name and where'd you come from?
Hi, so I'm Andrew, I'm a gay man, and my pronouns are he, him. My apologies for missing the first recording. Unfortunately, work took me away from being
I
able
just
to...
didn't want to be
Not forgiven.
Yeah, but I'm here now, so I just want to say it's going to be very excited being on board with this. I've got lots of exciting episodes to come up with, and after listening to the first episode, it got me even more excited about being here.
Okay, so now you're here, and we've all done our first. You reel off your first very quick.
Okay,
It was coming out, your first one.
So, I'll do an order. First
Yeah.
kiss, 15. Coming out, 17.
Ooh.
Virginity, 17. Coming out, 17, 18.
Wow, it all
and
happened at 17.
I know, it's very busy. It's a good year.
Yeah.
It's a good year. And then probably cartoon character, Captain Scarlet.
Oh, nice.
Like puppet, very chiseled jawline. You won't know who Captain Scarlet is, do you?
A puppet?
A puppet, yeah. No, yeah.
I'm terrified of puppets.
Well, he was fit.
If you enjoy showing your hand up, something's
Well,
happening.
no, he was quite sexy. He was dark haired. He was very well chiseled.
A
He sometimes had a bit of
bisexual
What's
Is
a
this,
bisexual?
is this like Madame? You know that puppet of the old lady who Raja
with the
did for
strings.
Snatch Game?
Yes, yeah.
Literally
yeah.
just that.
I'll Google a picture of Captain Scarlet.
Well, I'll have to have a look.
Mm.
So this episode, as I mentioned, is covering dating and dating apps. Now, we have had a lot of response from our listeners. So I was going to get a load of information that I can spiel off, but sod that. I'm just going to go straight into all the kind of questions and stories that we've had from our listeners.
Yes.
Okay, so we did have around 4 or 5 questions that were the same. Yeah. So I'm just going to group them all into one question and we'll go around.
Yeah.
So dating apps, what do you think of them? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they damaging to your health, mental health, and monogamy? A lot to unpack, guys.
That's a lot.
That's
in one
pretty
question.
heavy.
Are they good or bad? I don't know. I think
It depends on experience, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, if you're strong-willed as a person,
Sure.
then I think they're fine, they're good.
But you need thick skin, don't you? Really?
Yeah.
You can see a lot of shit on there, and it
You
can
have
really
to be
bring
in
you
the
down.
right place to be exposing yourself to these things, and you have to be understanding it in the right mindset to do it. Otherwise,
I suppose it depends as well what you're using it for. So if you
Yeah.
are looking for love, Grindr's probably...
no, you've got to match your expectations.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I suppose as well, you saying you've been in the right place, it's also about being in the right place geographically as well.
Oh, yeah,
Because,
absolutely.
it's a case of, if you don't drive and the nearest sort of, hookup is 45 minutes.
Yeah, you're
is
in
it
the
worth
hills.
it? You'd have to set yourself a limit, I think. It's am I going to drive that far for dick? And with the cost of living and fuel prices at the moment,
Absolutely.
that's something
Right,
for
right.
people.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
something to
Go
consider.
move to Manchester, it's fine.
Oh, literally, I want to move to a bigger city.
What,
I'm
is
like,
Chester not good enough for you?
I don't live in Chester.
Where do you live?
I live in Buckley, so it's
Oh,
like
it's
a
kinda
small
okay.
little town somewhere. It's
It's not that
It's
far.
dry as fuck.
I thought you were just going to, like, plug
For anybody who's listening, Buckley,
I literally
Buckley,
just I
you
just
know.
tell my address to the whole world.
Well, Diana's single and she's from Buckley.
This
Get
isn't
into
a
it.
dating profile.
Yeah. I was going to talk about that. I was going to pull up, because we're talking about dating and dating
Right.
apps and things, and I'm the only person on the podcast currently who is single. So I have all of my dating profiles on different apps and things. I was going to pull up...
That's the thing, you need so many these days
There's
just
like
to get
4 or
somewhere.
5. I was going to pull up all my different profiles and be like, let's have a look. But
but it is always the same sort of people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're a bit like, oh, okay.
So, well, I spoke to you on Grindr, I've just matched with you on Tinder. So.
Yeah.
I blocked you on everything.
See, that's the bad part about like a night out, because if you block someone and you bump into them or they're there, it's like,
Especially
yeah.
in Chester because it's so small.
yeah,
Like, you will
the
bump
scene in
into them, you
Chester
will see
is
them.
so small.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's
don't know.
a little bit awkward. But what do you
it's a
think
bit
about...
different for me anyway, though, because I'm talking to straight guys.
Right.
True, yeah.
I
Yeah.
think all that
And how is that actually? Like, obviously,
It's rotten.
Right.
It's absolutely rotten.
have you experienced abuse from people on dating apps?
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, now that you mention it, we do have one of the questions which is really related to this kind of topic. So I'll just... it is all anonymous, as I mentioned on the previous episode, the Curious Cat. We can't see any information unless you
fully
want to...
anonymous.
Yeah, so if you want to specify or you want to drop names or anything like that, you can drop us on Twitter. But other than that, the Curious Cat is completely anonymous. So
Not names or shame.
drop names or shame, yeah. So the question is, as a trans teen, I'm finding it hard to date, or if they do generally end up being weird with the fact that I'm T. Where do you draw the boundary in what is a healthy and non-healthy relationship basis in a cis trans couple? So very similar to what you were just mentioning.
Yeah.
So
So
what
what
would you
this
say?
what this person's saying is that they're dating in cis trans relationships, so that's them as a trans person and with other cis people. And what they said was that they're being weird about it, which isn't very specific. There's a lot of weird that
Yeah.
I think like there is a lot of now, especially there is a lot of straight guys who are fully straight that have migrated onto Grindr because they find young trans women as easy pickings.
Yeah.
Because a lot of young trans women have very low self-esteem and they don't have a lot of experience in dating. So they find it easier and I think almost as practice.
Yeah. But that's the thing, it's with
Yeah.
young people in general. I think on these apps, like I came onto it when I was 21 and I didn't know anything.
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
I came onto Grindr when I was 14.
And I thought, oh, you know, big man, here I am, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And first couple of like encounters were horrific.
Oh, yeah.
I suppose like that transition through from, like you said about from Tinder onto Grindr, etc. Is it a case of as well these men are almost fetishizing
Yeah.
the whole situation, and this isn't a fetish.
No.
This
It's
is who you
Yeah.
are as a person.
I think
And
it's kind of taking advantage of the situation
For
they're
sure.
in as well.
Yeah.
Like their position of power in a way.
Absolutely.
Especially if the person is
Yeah.
like you said, feel low
self-esteem.
self-esteem. Yeah.
Because you're in a vulnerable position. What I will say about it is, right, so me and some other trans women have like sort of angled this down. So you'll find and I can only speak from a trans woman's perspective. I do have a lot of close trans male or trans masc friends. My brother's actually trans. But I'll say like, I think guys that'll date trans women tend to be split up into 3 different categories.
Wow.
So the category that you need to stay away from we call chasers. And I'm sure you've all heard that term before. So those are like straight guys or just guys or people in general who specifically fetishize the fact that you're trans.
Yeah.
And these will be guys that go on Pornhub and watch like T-Girl,
Yeah.
Funari, like that kind of dick girl
Yeah.
porn things. And they're like specifically fetishizing the penis and they want you to do things with it like penetration.
Well, it's like all these lads that go on like Thailand holidays.
Yeah.
You hear it all the time.
The lady boy.
Yeah.
sex tourism.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there are trans women who top and are into that, and but I mean, I don't know.
Well, what would you say? What would you then say to this teen, this trans teen, to help navigate this?
I would say it's much better if that person is being weird in that way, in the sense that they are a chaser. It's much safer to date the other two categories of guys that I find date trans women, and those would be the guys that are attracted to you as a person or as a woman or as an anything, and they don't mind what you've got going on downstairs or anywhere else, like pre-transition. They wouldn't mind if you got rid of it or it stayed and they're just not really bothered. Or there is like guys who are either like, or people in general, who are non-binary, pansexual, bisexual type of thing, where they don't care what your like downstairs is going to be like. And those, I think, for trans people, for non-binary people, for people who are figuring themselves out, will always be the safest people to
Because
date.
bisexuals and pansexuals, they can be quite... Well, if you're looking for the straight aesthetic, they can be that as well.
Yeah.
You like chicks, you like dicks. I'm a chick with a dick.
That whole point that you just made, that was a storyline on Pose, wasn't it?
It was, yes. Electra.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
finally plucked up the courage to, take it off, and then the guy that she was associated with...
Yeah, he was like, no,
Lost his interest,
wasn't it? And he was like, no, that's why he wanted
I've never
to.
seen Pose. Everyone keeps going on
It's
about
amazing.
it. Everyone
It's
says
amazing.
it's great.
Next episode, we will not have TJ on the episode.
Vanished.
Okay, I'm going home.
Okay, so just to go back onto the original question, because so many people have asked this question, do you think dating apps are damaging to mental health, your physical health? Andrew, as a sexual health nurse, I think...
Oh, yeah, what was
Yes.
she saying?
What's your input on that?
Okay, so I suppose from a mental health perspective, we've got to this point where we kind of treat people like they are a commodity, and it's like, actually, you know what, you're not quite what I want, so block.
Yeah.
And then...
And there's a long list of filters.
Oh yeah, for
that
sure,
you-
for sure. And that's the thing, you can filter through, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want the other, I don't want this, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, then what's left with? 3 people who you've already had sex with. You've highlighted what you like, and you've already tried that, it doesn't quite work. From a physical health perspective, it makes traceability for STIs and partner notification much of a challenge, because you may have people that come through who, how many partners have you had in the last 3 months, and they go, 10, are they contactable? No.
I suppose back before apps were a thing,
I feel
you would have like your city that you'd really
No judgment.
venture into, and you could be like, right, yeah, it was this person, this person, this person.
Yeah, and the thing is with it, because I mean, I've had this happen. I don't know if you've ever had this happen. You kind of like be chatting to somebody, meet up with them, hook up, you get in the car,
And you
Blocked.
never speak to
Blocked.
that
and
person
they block
again.
you, and you're like, oh my god, I'm
Too
that good
bad.
at sex that now I'm blocked.
It's never happened to me.
Yeah.
Of course not.
So
No.
that can be, well, that's quite damaging to, emotional
Yeah,
health.
personally.
And then also, it's like, let's say, it's traceability of saying, it's not about assigning blame as to, who's essentially giving you chlamydia.
Yeah.
It's about knowing the responsibility of things that, well, actually, I need to tell that person then
Yeah.
that I could have given them an STI.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It does make life harder,
Yeah.
but it's the way of the world at the moment. And the problem is, it's here to stay. And, there's adaptations that are happening. I know some apps are working with services to try and make it easier for partner notification
Yeah.
Yeah.
as well.
Well, my first, I said earlier that the first couple of experiences that I had were quite traumatizing. And it just reflects back onto low self-esteem and mental health. My first actual meeting with someone from Grindr, we hooked up. And as soon as he finished, he was like, right, get off, get out.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? I mean, it was completely alien to me. And, you just sit in the car and just go, what has just happened? And then you think, am I just that piece of meat though? Okay, yeah, a lot of
Literally.
people do that. And, it's by the by, that's why we say you've got to be very careful with who you're talking to.
Yeah.
That's the expectation of the app for a lot of people.
That's what it has become, though, hasn't it?
It has, but then
It's like takeout food.
Yeah.
it's so easy, though, to get
It
around
is.
it. You can get around it.
I
Because
want to sit down for a nice meal every now and again,
Just want to eat.
I don't want to
Me
go.
out.
I don't always want to go through the drive-through and then just. That's it.
people don't go up to people in a bar anymore.
No,
That's
they don't.
That's the only
Also,
way around it.
I'm sorry, but for LGBT people, it's not that easy to just go up to someone in
See,
a bar.
I disagree. I think you can just go up to somebody and
Yeah,
if
but
they
he's
get
straight.
so spaghetti until you get it hot and wet. It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
I'm going to show my age now and just say like, oh yeah, because like when I was your age, apps were the thing. Mobile phones had buttons. Okay.
Smoke signals, what?
Yeah. Raven. We would send Raven. And it was very much like you go up to somebody in a bar and you start talking to them, but because you had the same sort of people that would frequent the same bar, you sort of like eye them up one week.
Yeah.
And then wait for the week
Cruising.
after. Yeah, basically, yeah. And then you sort of like go up to them and finally chat to them.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think like meeting people organically literally is the answer to dating.
Yeah,
apps.
100%.
Because it's
Yeah, for sure.
it's just like 98% of the time not going to happen in a good way on dating apps.
I think nowadays as well...
It gets people
nowadays-
together,
Yeah.
but
I think a voice note as well, actually doing the voice note, because then you sort of
Yeah,
hear
you
them. That
actually
kind
hear
of
the voice.
helps filter out
definitely
knobheads
a
that,
voice,
Yeah.
a video call
Yeah, or...
often is
Yeah.
good.
I
See,
knew
this
somebody
is
who would
the
always
thing.
have like a
It's
picture
effort as
with...
well, isn't it, then?
Like mimic the hand gesture that I'm doing to prove that it is
Oh,
them.
I remember doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we talking about like catfishes.
Well, like in Catford, just basically online, so you sort of like...
It's like
oh,
take a
this
picture,
weird
hold 3
person's-
fingers up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it is also the pictures that get sent to you are the
man.
best pictures that they can ever have. I'll be quite honest. I went many moons ago. Was chatting to this guy, great chat, everything like that. Arranged to meet for a date, and I turned up and he had one ear.
He had one ear.
He had one ear.
Van Gogh.
Yeah. And I was just a bit shocked by it, to be honest with you. I was just a bit shocked by it because I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
And then you were found
in
gone.
his pictures, did
Well,
you have 2 ears?
Well, I went to the toilet and I did my admin.
You had a lot.
Quick look.
Quick
Every
fact check.
picture.
Was the picture like to the
But
side?
then,
from the good
how
side.
transparent do people need to be?
Well, this is the thing.
This is
Okay,
a
I was much
tricky
younger
part,
and a bit
isn't it?
more of a dickhead, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. But this is the thing. How transparent do you need to be? It was just a shock. You know?
Yeah, no,
And
definitely.
we had the date. He was like, "Have you been here before?"
You were
Lovely meal,
yes.
lovely meal. And unfortunately, yeah, we didn't really see each other again until a year later.
I wonder why.
No, we met a year later and shagged. So you know.
To be fair, I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Catfishing. How far do you? How like everyone's filtered photos
What it
these
is
days.
People just, they want to show the best.
But
version
that's
of
not
themselves.
reality,
It's
though.
Not, it's not.
So when you do meet them, you're just like, oh,
Everything's a disappointment.
Yeah.
Every time. It always is.
Everything is shit.
Go on dating apps,
Yeah.
everything is a disappointment.
But this is what I mean. For me personally, with dating apps, I will
How long has it been since you've met up with somebody and been like, you're more attractive in person?
exactly.
I've had guys say that to me. Your
Very
pictures
good
don't do you
point.
justice. I'm like,
That's
thanks.
lovely.
That's really nice. Thank you. That's nice.
I need
Yeah.
to teach you how to take a good selfie.
Like you're much better. I mean, this is back in the day. Camera phones have come on. You know, we weren't allowed to smile in my pictures and take it. You need that. You
The
know,
flash.
Don't move or it'll blur.
send them an oil painting.
Back in the day. No, but like for me, I would talk to someone for God a couple of months before I've even decided
Really?
to meet them.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm
Yeah.
the exact same.
Really?
I think I've had a better
I get
experience
lost.
because of it.
So,
You get
Yeah, no,
what?
that's time wasting.
whatever.
But this is for dating.
wanna chat
This is
for
for someone.
months.
This is for someone that you want to invest time in.
Right,
Yeah.
If
I
they're
invest time in
wanting to
everyone.
invest time in you, then it should be an equal
I think it's
exchange.
better
You can
vetting
go for a
process, isn't it?
coffee. It doesn't have to be a shot.
Yeah, that's
If I
Coffee's a
get-
good date.
If I get talking with somebody, I want to meet them within the week that I first
Yeah,
spoke to them.
100%.
Otherwise, I get so many messages, you're just going to get dropped.
There was a lot. I think
It's
You're
not
that
going
popular
anywhere.
that you're
It
that
seems like
popular
there's
to
more
get
of an
all
art
these
to it these
messages.
days.
I think there's a lot of admin that goes with.
Yeah, like I didn't realise how much admin was in it.
Well, this leads
Yeah.
into our first story that we've got on someone sent in. So they said, so first I met up with someone and went on a nice day out. ended going back to their house for a bit of nookie, and during the fun times, they shouted out they loved me, not once, but twice.
Oh, it's the twice.
It's
It's the twice for me, so.
I can get that if you're like...
oh, they might not have said it. But then the second time, it's like, they definitely just said that. So.
You say, I love it, I love what we're doing, not I love you.
It's not McDonald's, it's not, I'm looking at it, like, it's not doing that.
Right, I'm going to paint you a picture though.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, it's been a long while. You know, you've been watching romantic movies, and the person comes and it's the dick of death. It's iconic. And you're in Missionary, right? And you just watched a romantic movie and they're pounding you. And it's just, you're in the throes and I love you slips out. And I can relate.
This is just getting weird.
I can relate to that, but twice.
Twice. It's the twice for you.
It's the twice.
But for me as well, it's also whoever said this, like, no read, but nookie.
Yeah, no,
Come on,
that's
come
what you
on.
picked up on.
That's what I picked up on first. I'm like,
I think they're just trying to
nookie.
be PG.
Oh,
They fucked.
Okay, fucky, there we go.
Fuck, I've had a good time. You know,
sloppy toppy.
I love you.
Coffee.
Shout.
But that is a perfect example of expectations. They knew what they were doing, where they were going for,
Sure.
blah, blah, blah. But then, I love you twice.
I
It's...
love it.
The first time, I mean, I'd be alright with that, but twice is a bit much.
That's twice.
Also, I feel like the way you tell the story, it sounds like they shouted it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so, I love you!
Like, that's no. It's too much. It's a bit weird. The fact that you've never met them before as well.
Maybe they
Yeah.
were like imagining someone else.
God, you're literally crying.
That's even worse. It's shagging you and thinking about someone else.
I feel we're laughing at this person actually
Yeah, this
traumatised
person's
looking
in-
for help.
Yeah.
And we're like, Jesus Christ.
I'm
They're not looking for help, they're just sharing a story. It's a very good story.
It is
it
a funny
is.
story.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending it, because
Yeah.
it did make us all chuckle.
Well, here's another one then for you. So, how do I stop outrageously flirting with one of my best friend's boyfriend? I think he likes it. So far in the closet, he's in fucking Narnia.
Shag him.
Yes!
That is the answer.
You know what? I actually think you're right.
100%. And then it's done. And then if it goes on to
And,
something
right,
else, it does.
Where are your morals?
Yeah.
You've
at?
saved your mate.
Yeah.
If he's that into it that he's actually raring to go, you've saved your mate the trouble of being with somebody who's
Yeah.
See, if they
in
say
the
best,
closet and
best
wants to
mate.
cheat.
Best friend.
Best friend.
Yeah.
I mean, best friends come and go, don't they? Really?
But good dick, eh?
Good dick, hard to find. You just said good dick, hard to find.
Yeah, but he doesn't even know.
It's everybody likes the straight boy dick. Come on, it's
Yeah,
the smell of Leeds
or-
Africa. It just
or-
makes you go wild, doesn't it? We've all had those moments.
What if then the boyfriend is just liking the attention?
Yeah.
Yeah, in all
Some straight
seriousness,
guys
Yeah.
are like
Some straight guys-
so
seriously.
flirty.
I
They love the fact they get the
remember-
attention,
Yeah,
not to give
100%.
it.
Yeah.
I've had like in high school I used to have straight guys grind on me as a joke. Like that is quite far.
Yeah, to be fair.
I think they just want to know they can.
Yeah.
Like, that's all they want. They can get it. If
But this is it though. It's like he says, how do I... Sorry, I'm assuming gender. They say, how do I stop outrageously flirting? So it sounds like...
Maybe the best
It's-
friend already knows if it's outrageous.
No.
The way to stop outrageously flirting with your best mate's boyfriend is just be more subtle about it, honey.
under the table, not over the table.
But if he thinks he likes it, sort of thing, you know,
Find
I
out.
remember-
That's a very biased opinion,
Well,
though.
yeah, but like, no. What I'm saying is like, sometimes
No, not you.
Oh,
They're
yeah, well,
assuming
okay,
that
that
he
he called me
likes
out
it.
there. Whereas I was like, what? We've come over there. You know, I remember being out on a night out with a group of straight lads. And
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know this gonna out. And the conversation came up. Basically, we turned around and said, "So like, this is my straight boy voice. So like, what?
Would you shout me?
Yeah. Well, no, that was like, so you know, who would you shout? And I put them in order, 1 to 5.
That's so iconic.
Right?
I love you for
Yeah.
that.
4 and 3, livid. All night. Like, no one challenged number 1 because they were like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
fair.
he's the best.
Yeah, no, fair, he is the best. But like, 3 and 4 were like, why am I 4?
They were mad.
To be fair, I
Livid,
went.
yeah.
Me and my partner went to Chester Pride. I think I was 19, and we were sat talking to 2 couples in Off the Wall, and both lovely, both heterosexual couples. The girls went off to the toilet as girls do. And then that's when it started. The lads were like, about just all the kind of like gay stuff that they wanted to do or that they like think that they would be open to doing. And you're just like, your girlfriends have literally just left.
Also, tell your girlfriends this because they're like, okay. Okay.
I'm like, is it just because it's pride or you're drunk? But it's just...
It's curiosity.
Yeah.
It's definitely curiosity.
There's
People
so
just
many
want to know.
people that are like strangling themselves. I'm not in that way. But like of the experiences that they want to have. You're like, just go for it. Who cares?
But balls to the walls. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, literally.
Balls to the walls. Okay, well then...
So how do they stop it? How do they stop it? Did we help this person?
Yeah, no, I said be more subtle.
Look around
Subtlety,
Right, Andrew, look around the room. Do you think we could help anyone? That's not
Okay,
what's
we'll
gonna
go
happen.
around the room. Because we seem to be quite... opposite opinions. Everyone say their piece, and then we can have 5 opinions for this one situation.
Okay.
Oh, do I have to go first?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm stealing yours. Yeah, be more subtle.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, you know what? It's if you're a flirty person, sometimes people find it quite
Some
difficult.
people are.
Just naturally will flirt, and if that's the case, then that's fine. The outrageous. What are you classing as outrageous is the first. Like if you're dry humping them.
If you're going over the line, maybe.
Yeah.
See, it just sounds like a time bomb waiting to happen. He's going to get drunk at a house party or a night out when they all
they're
go
gonna
out together, and it's going to happen.
And
she'll find out
afterwards. It'll be so awkward. He'll avoid you after something happens.
And that's another thing. If they go, if it happens, and there's the straight boyfriend.
Yeah.
Completely goes, whoa, what are you doing? It then really makes the whole situation awkward.
But I would say, like, if it's... You can always just have flirty banter with people.
Oh, yeah, I completely get it. Especially in a workworkplace. Flirty banter makes the day go quick.
So all flirty banter does see and ends up in an office.
I was going to say, I don't know if HR would have something to say about this, Wes. But,
Wes, did you spend somebody to...
Tell someone to eat your ass on video call.
You're like, I meant it in an aggressive manner, not a sexual manner. Okay? Sounds very different, thank you.
Yeah, I think flirty work banter for you is going to be quite awkward.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, completely.
Because she works at a sexual health clinic.
Checking them for the platinum, you like, eat my ass is not.
Thank you.
I know where you've been.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that informs you about what's going on in the neighbourhood, doesn't it? Where to stay away from.
Luckily, I don't work in the area that I live.
Oh, that's
so it's very unlikely that I bump into people that I have had to.
Okay, well, before we go on to our last question that's been sent in, because it's not related to dating, I would like to just go around the room. What's your top tip or your rules around dating? Diana's got absolutely none, it seems.
I feel called out.
Yeah, I'm calling you out.
I'll go last, because I genuinely would love to hear everyone's advice.
Okay.
Because I'm currently single and struggling.
Okay, so you could listen to
I
all
want the
this
advice.
knowledge, all this knowledge in the room.
Yeah.
Go on, Carla.
I think just be honest and transparent about what you want. I did meet my girlfriend on a dating app.
Which dating app was it?
Badoo or something.
Badoo.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Pokemon.
No, that's Badoo.
Badoo. No, Badoo.
What's the closing line that sounds like that?
What?
Boo-hoo. Sorry, come on.
I met my girlfriend on Boohoo.
She was wearing the summer collection.
And I'm just really honest. Before our first date, she did say that she's 6'2", though.
Oh, is she?
No.
Catfish.
No. So everything.
How tall is she?
So everything she told me was
4'1".
accurate. She's actually 5'4", and I'm 5'2", so that works
See,
out.
I know this partner, so absolute catfish.
So that works out perfectly. But I was questioning whether to go on the date. So I'm like, 6 foot, that's a bit of a push for me. But everything was fine. They were just taking the piss out of my vulnerabilities.
So be transparent and honest.
Yeah. But then you can have a laugh every now and again, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But just, be honest with each other about what you want.
Okay.
Go on.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Advice for dating.
Yeah. Because you are also in a relationship.
Yeah, I'd say don't keep it in the family. up the bum, no babies.
Oh, yeah! That's always my cheers when I'm at the bar.
It.
If we do a shot, up the bum, no babies.
And yeah, just be honest. That's the best thing. Be honest, transparent, and then everything else falls into place.
See where you're like shrugging all this off?
Yeah.
Maybe it's why you're single.
You're
It's
dishonest.
cliche as fuck, though. I'm not dishonest.
Do you want serious advice or funny advice? So I can do a mixture of both.
I want serious
Go for it.
advice.
Okay, so
She needs help.
she needs help. I agree that, it needs to be transparent and honest, but also protect yourself. Don't give everything away too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does everything
It's a
mean?
journey.
So don't be like, dating can be fun because it's about them getting to know you and you getting to know them.
At
Yeah,
an
yeah,
equal
yeah.
pace.
Exactly, yeah.
Don't
and-
just trauma dump on someone.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely.
And,
Well, you can push someone away by doing that.
for sure,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
overwhelming for the other person.
And if you don't want to fuck them on the first date, don't douche.
Don't douche.
Yeah. Or go for an Indian.
Good shout.
Go
Go for an Indian.
Go for an Indian.
Go for an Indian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and I suppose, I did not meet my partner on a dating app. My partner and I actually played rugby together, so we had a shared interest. And
Nice.
and
The showers.
Well, and
That was the shared interest.
All the boys in shorts.
which doesn't actually happen. So he and I actually had a shared interest, and we were friends for 2 years before we actually.
that's lovely.
So it
Fuck
became
you.
very. Well, I wasn't looking for it. This is the thing, and I suppose it's a case
That's
of
what I want.
when you stop looking is when you find.
Well, that's
it. I know
that's
it's so
exactly,
cliche.
that is
Another
exactly
cliche.
it. So for me, it was I split up with my ex, and then when he moved out, I was kind of like, bleh. So my now partner, we were just talking about interests that we had. We started just hanging out, and then I thought the last thing I want this person to feel is the what's it called?
Tip.
No, the rebound. That's it. The rebound. I didn't want him to feel the rebound.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would say we were dating for 9 months before we made it even official.
Wow.
Because I wanted to show not only was I, serious about what he wanted and what I wanted, but also to make him feel like, there's no reason this needs to go boom, boom, boom
Yeah.
to title to title to title. So we just let it go
You
where
can
it
take your
went.
time. It all happens at a different pace for everyone.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can't feel like, we've been together for 3 months, or been dating for 3 months, we need to be in a relationship.
Well, one boyfriend I had, we were talking for less than a month and we went boyfriends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It lasted 4 months, so that just tells you.
It was just
Rushing
not
it.
just condensed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just that's what I mean by rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
that's-
tell them you love them when you're having nookie.
First
Sorry.
Not once.
First time,
Not
okay.
once, but twice.
Whatever was
Do
it? First
twice.
time, shame on you.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be
Save
my
those things.
advice.
Sprinkle them in across the relationship.
Yeah, my advice would be just take your time with it.
Okay.
Can we do a special where we just set it for speed dating?
Oh, I'd love that.
Just
Yeah,
literally.
We'll all sit in the corner, just commentating,
Yeah,
like David Attenborough.
Yes! So, we find Diana in her natural habitat at the fucking bar.
Just go, she's not going to like this one.
So, no, TJ, I wanted to ask
Yes.
you, how did you meet your boyfriend?
Prison.
Prison, honey.
Just say it.
It's so
On Grindr.
complicated. No.
What?
So, right.
It's complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated. So I met him because he was in a relationship before,
Right.
and I was in a relationship.
So you were both in relationships and
Yeah.
you met as couples?
Not quite.
No.
So my boyfriend at the time
The
was
filthy whore.
his boyfriend's ex.
Right.
And then I broke up with my boyfriend at the time,
Yeah.
and Rob broke up with his.
Yeah.
And then I got with Rob's then ex, who was my ex's ex.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
after that didn't work out, I thought, who's next? And Rob was there.
Oh, you'll do.
So
You
That's how we
went,
met.
you went,
it's not a love triangle, it's like a
no,
love
no.
cube.
Ding.
Yeah.
I love dodecahedron.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we
you
met.
got through
So-
the frogs to get to the prince.
Yeah, that's... I bet you regret asking that now.
Yeah. So I've just got to say, all of your advice was absolutely useless.
You're welcome.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Just be you, be yourself, you're great, blah, 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 all that jazz.
Or
Next
sleep with an
question.
ex.
Well, so this, as I said, it's got nothing to do with dating, but they've sent it in, and as I said, we will answer every single one that comes through. So, they've said, so I was wearing a jaded London see-through dress, and Doll went out looking cute, and all was good in the world. until she came fully untucked and had a ball sticking out of each end of her thong. In that situation, in the middle of a street on a night out, what do you do?
So I'm going to paint the picture.
Of course you are.
This girl, and I know this girl. I don't actually know, but I know.
We all know this girl.
I've been this girl, right? So she'll be wearing a see-through. It's probably a bodycon dress, probably a short dress. It's probably mesh, yes. And underneath, she'll have tucked and she'll have on a cheeky thong.
Nice.
So she's walking down the street. We'll say cobblestones in Chester. Probably won't have been, but you never know. Could have been Belarus. And the tuck has popped both sides of a thong. Now that is traumatic. That is traumatic. I had a good think about this earlier, and I would say what I came up with is, it's evening. A lady should carry a bag.
And she do carry
a lady do carry a bag
at dinner time.
Yes. So I would say if this happened to me, I would place said purse/handbag over the crotch area and just
waddle.
Try and get yourself to somewhere, a public bathroom, a corner somewhere. Be careful as well.
Or would you carry tucking because there's a million and one ways to do it.
I think you would probably just
carry some in your bag, maybe.
No. Do you know how big handbags are?
I mean, come on this occasion, she's out.
Are you thinking some sort of big,
Are you thinking Mary transsexual Mary Poppins?
It's one of these IKEA bags, of course.
This is the season's tote. No, we're talking a tiny little clutch that can't even fit the phone in.
You've heard the dress. She's wearing a short see-through dress.
I'm not saying a big roll of duct.
It's going to be a mini bag. It's going to be a tiny little.
It's going to be a wallet.
It's going to be.
I'm just coming up with ideas.
It's going to be a thimble with a strap.
I suppose, I wonder if there are others out there who have actually experienced this, if they feel comfortable sharing it and how they actually resolve that situation, if maybe they can get in touch to someone.
Okay, well, yeah, I would urge this person who's asked the question what they actually did.
We want to know what you did.
Or if anybody else is in this situation, what did you do?
Yeah, but I would say, you conceal and find somewhere to discreetly reorganise.
And you'd hope that this individual was around people that they trust and that they're close with.
Yeah,
so then they would be there to help.
You could huddle around.
If there was no bag, you have a friend walking
Penguin
in front of you.
huddle back to somewhere safe. Okay, well, they're all the kind of questions that we've been sent in. Just a bit of information around dating apps then. Tinder is the most popular dating app in the UK, and only 15% of Tinder users in the UK are female.
How many years has it been since each of you have used Tinder?
I completed it in the first year.
You needed to stop using it as Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
okay, because if you follow all of those markers, you'll
catch them all.
Yeah.
Well, it's also 21% of Britons are steering away of dating apps until there's a better vetting process has been established, as this leads to catfishing, which we spoke about.
Yeah.
Didn't Tinder do that thing where you can take specific selfies of yourself in, I was going to say certain positions, but what I mean is it'll ask you to do something in your picture, and then after that you can get a little certification tick to say this is definitely
when you
a
join
person.
Tinder, it asks you to take a picture in a certain pose type of thing, and if you don't do that, it won't verify you as a
and you get a little
account.
tick next to your profile
like
to
on
say
Twitter,
you've verified.
Yeah. But that's only to
lucky
stop
then.
catfishing. That isn't to vet murders and weirdos.
Wow. I just want the final point to be your worst experience and what you learned from it. Yes, boys and girls, we are teaching the children here. Yes,
as a community, and we're growing from each other's failures as well.
So yeah, learn from our mistakes.
Experience what?
On a date.
Do as I say, not do as I do.
Yeah. Have you ever had?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a quote unquote date, but you're just your worst experience.
I've got an absolute awful hookup encounter.
Oh, God.
It's quite graphic.
Spill the tea.
I wouldn't expect anything less from you, but okay.
So we were quote having nookie.
He was fisting me and his prosthetic arm came off inside.
You need to go out. You need to cool down, Just have a little wet wash and just go.
So this guy clearly hadn't douched. Right.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
an accident had happened,
Okay.
and I'd realised it had happened, obviously, but they were too embarrassed to say. So rather than
Hoping
say
that you
anything,
wouldn't say anything
they
either.
just departed off of me, and then turned around and then sucked me off. So to clear the evidence, and then went to the toilet, and I only realised because I could still see bits of brown there.
I'm sorry, right? Sorry, our producer Dan's in the studio with us. I'm so sorry that you had to listen to that.
You might want to edit that one out.
I think a lot of gay men will have had that experience of, when you're like, oh my god, it's a Black Forest Gatto. You know, with many...
See, I can top that.
Me or...
No, he did top it, that was the problem. Yeah.
No, so I met up with a guy and we got down to nookie. Right, can we not make this a thing, but make it a thing? It's a thing.
It's now.
It's nookie, yes.
Yeah.
So I was about to go down and pulled back.
Go down where?
And yes, there was
Pull it down.
cheddar cheese.
Oh.
Yeah. So I wasn't even gonna. I was just right. I'm sorry, I can't do this. Blah blah blah. Jog on. Sorry, tra. So then I would say maybe a year, 2 years later, I spoke to him again on Grindr, and I thought, you know what? I'll give this guy another go. He was very kind. Shut up, Andrew. So I met up with him, but I said to him, I was like, oh, so I'll meet you after work. Do you need a shower or anything?
Can you bathe?
And well, yeah. I wanted to make it very
bathe?
clear that he had bathed before we were going to meet.
Wow.
You
Get some
start-
crackers.
You start talking in a sweet voice and you say, why don't we get some more
shower?
comfortable?
Let's
Why
go
don't
in
we
the
hop in the
shower.
shower,
Yeah.
and just...
So I got
How
there.
is a shower sexy though with somebody? Because
No.
I know.
He's
but-
going in the shower.
Yeah, exactly. So what?
Yeah,
You're going to let him check that he's washed his knob appropriately against the mist of it.
I'll put on the fire hose.
You literally just like
Against the
Well, I got there. His hair was wet, so I was like, yep, he's showered.
Didn't pull it down.
I pulled it down and it was still there. So I was like, I said, I'm sorry, but this is the second time this has happened.
You get a wet wipe.
Blocked. No. Second
Sorry, did you call him and say you?
No, yeah.
Well,
First time, I was like,
yeah,
no,
for sure.
give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
We're not doing anything, but
what
you
was
know, I'm
his
not going to call him
reaction to
out.
your
What did he say?
He
Did
just
you say
said-
it to his face, or did you go back and say it afterwards?
Did you say...
I just said I can't do this.
You said I'm not
because
taking a trip to Cheddar Gorge.
Sorry, I'm lactose intolerant.
I'm lactose
And
intolerant.
what did he say?
He just said, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I was just like, "No, it's fine, okay, bye," kind of thing.
Oh, it's
Locked.
Raj.
You should have grabbed a shot of pork and called it a cheese board. That's what you should have done.
A couple of grapes, bit of wine.
Charcuterie.
Yeah, like-
Charcuterie, yeah.
Put in my medical head on, it's a case of lads, pull it back, give the wash. You think your shower gels like links and things
And
like
the
that.
thing is,
really
his
harsh
foreskin
chemicals
wasn't
in them.
even like tight.
Yeah,
so
don't get really... Because you can get it, you can get, soap and stuff
yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
and then you
cause
get...
irritation.
Don't you get, you get symptoms of, gonorrhea?
So you can have
You get
it's called
soap.
balanitis. So
Yeah.
it's basically mouth thrush. We're going to another realms here, folks. But use a 0% soap or an E45 cream. It's moisturising. That will clean away any bacteria as well and keep things nice and
Free
healthy.
medical advice.
Well,
on this
yeah, because
podcast.
the
I love
chemicals,
it.
the chemicals that are in a lot of these shower gels are really
Yeah.
quite. If you put shower gel on your face, it dries out your
Oh, yeah,
skin.
no, it's horrible.
Same on your genitals. Be careful what you're washing your genitals with.
Why are you
folks.
making eye contact with me when you say this?
Because this is an intervention, TJ. This is an intervention.
TJ, we can smell you from here, okay? They can smell you at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, plot twist. It was TJ man.
TJ stands for tangy junk.
Can we stop talking about my genotape? Anyone else got something to say?
Carla, it's your
Carla.
What was the question?
Carla is still literally in tears.
Our in-house lesbian.
Dying.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
What was mine?
The worst
My
experience.
worst.
I mean, other than episode 1 where you were dating
That was
the
probably
girl
the
who
worst.
had a girlfriend.
That was probably the worst.
That was the worst.
Oh, come on, you must have had
Oh yeah, so when I first went on to dating apps for the very first time, I forgot to specify that I only wanted women. So
Right.
I got a few unsolicited
Oh no.
dick pics. Yeah, I was mortified for a few days and then I amended the situation and it was all done.
Yeah, that's definitely not for me.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yes, that's the worst. It's got really.
Go on, so Andrew, the knowledge you must have.
Settling.
The wealth.
The wealth of knowledge that I have. I suppose. Okay, so been flirting with this guy for a few weeks at the same bar. This is where, this is a while. So flirting, and then ended up going back to his place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're getting down to the nookie.
Yes!
Hashtag nookie.
He fell asleep.
Let's get it trendy.
Yeah, I am that good at sex. You'll be so relaxed, you'll fall asleep. Yeah.
What was going on?
So we were
have
kissing
the
a bit
opposite
like
opinion.
that, and I was making my way downtown.
you were
and
kissing
then
and you were-
I started to perform fellatio.
As you do.
It's oral sex
As
and
a
blowjobs.
medical professional.
Yeah, so, I started to perform that, sucking his dick. And next thing you know, he's snoring.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, wow.
Did you continue?
No, I left.
Oh, you know what? That was me. I had a bit.
I was like, fucking any jeans on anything like that, and just had a quick scout around, like, what can I rob from my time? It's a case of, right, what's the screw in here? Oh, look, 20 quid out of his. No, I did not rob him. I did not take £20 out of his wallet. That was.
You need petrol
That was
money.
someone else.
That was somebody else, It's like, no, I just left, and I did slam the door on the way out as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Just
so I was
to wake him up.
To wake him up, like, son of a bitch. And then he did say, "I'm really sorry about that." I'm like, and this is what you get for dating older guys who stay out past their bedtimes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fair
True,
dues.
true.
Go on, Diana. Last but not least.
I can't.
Oh, come on. I discussed cheddar cheese.
Don't point at me and call me cheddar cheese.
TJ, cheddar cheese.
It's a labyrinth.
It's a
Of
labyrinth.
bad experiences.
Okay,
like
we'll
I
just
said,
go on.
I've been on Grindr since I was 14.
Wow.
So
Which, by the way, is a complete safeguarding issue, but okay.
yeah, you absolutely can't. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Do not do that if you're 14 and listen to this podcast.
You shouldn't be.
You have to be 18 years old to go on Grindr.
You do.
Yes.
Which is another reason why people are not staying on them, because they need to be vetted.
Yeah.
So I've not been on Grindr for many years. Isn't it paid now?
You can pay.
You can have Grindr extra for extra money.
Like
What are you paying for to see more blank
It's
profiles?
literally like
You get more
£12
tiles and more distance.
Yeah, you get, and you can
love
put
it.
more filters on,
Yeah.
and
So £12 a month plus the
you
cost
can
of fuel.
You can
plus the
yeah.
This is
Jesus.
very
hooking
costly.
up is so
I
expensive.
know somebody who uses Grindr extra.
Oh, I had a guy say, "Oh yeah, I know someone at Grindr that's given me all these free subscriptions." No, you just pay for it.
Yeah,
Dan.
Yeah.
No shaming, but don't.
But do you think then
bullshit
they've
bullshit.
with all these paid subscriptions then, and they're trying to obviously isolate you out of the market, so you can see 10 people, and you're always seeing the 10
The
same
same 10
people.
people.
Then, so
Yeah.
you're not
I think
actually-
they do give you quite a few. It's
Oh,
like
do they?
yeah, I think
Because they used to
I
have
feel
a
like I remember the
block
number
limit.
50, but
Is it
probably
commercialising love?
oh yeah,
I think that's such a deep...
we're taking
yeah.
the
Yeah,
sexual
but then you could.
marketplace
Well,
to a new
to be
level.
fair, that was way before apps, because you would have the videos where, "Hi, I'm Jeff."
Lonely Hearts
Yeah.
in the papers.
Yeah, true.
So it's wherever there's a market in the love industry, someone's gonna.
Oh yeah, it's a $1 billion industry.
Yeah, sex will always make money in some form.
No, definitely.
Always.
How do you think I bought this dress?
You just gotta get paid.
Clearly you don't make a lot 'cause it's shit.
How dare you? No, but yeah.
Well, guys, I'm afraid we're gonna have to leave it there. I know every time I'm the bearer of bad news, but yes, we
Yes.
are running time.
Okay,
People have
bye.
got places to go, people to do. So yes,
Until next time, folks. XOXO Gossip Girl.
wow.
Copyright. Can't say that. Damn, put that out.
Right, well, bye everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.
See you next time.
Don't forget you can reach out to us or send in your dilemmas via the email pridecast@chesterpride.co.uk. You can drop us a DM on Twitter at ch1pride or send us your message anonymously via our curious cat found on Twitter. Chester Pridecast is produced by Studio 30,000.